Good afternoon, family and friends, Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. I just wanted to take a moment. I hope many of you are gathering out there as you see this video go live, and I want you to hear what I have to say this afternoon. We're living in perilous times, we're living in tragic times, we're living in difficult times, and it's a time where we can't remain silent. Time where black men and black women are being murdered at the hands of vigilantes, at the hands of the police brutally. Another black man shot in the back. Another black man shot in the back. Not a danger, not maybe you wanted to arrest him, but if you have difficulty arresting a black man, the option of shooting black men in the back in order to arrest them, that time should have ended a long time ago. Hunting down black men and shooting them in the back, uh, that time, open season on killing black men should be over. Seems like there was a civil war, 1865. It was 1865 that the Civil War should have ended in 1865, but it seems like we are still fighting the Civil War. Here we go again. More black men, women being killed. We can say their name. We can say their name, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Mitchell, Michael Brown, Eric Gardner, Philando Castile, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Justin Howe, Sean Monterosa, Jamal Floyd, Jacob Blake, Ahmaud Arbery. We can say their name and we can remember their sacrifice. We can understand that these men, George Floyd gave his life and sparked off great protests and even riots and violence, but riots and violence are not the solution. Rioters and violent people hide behind peaceful protesters and give authorities the excuse to attack those who are trying to bring about reform and change and justice in the right way. 100 years later, after 1865 war ended, it was in 1965 that we passed the Voters' Rights Act. In 1964, we passed the Civil Rights Act. The war seems to go on. This is 2020, and the freedom that we thought we secured in the Civil War, the freedom from slavery, the freedom from being lynched, the freedom from being hunted down as though we were not real humans, we thought that was over. The justice we seek by the grace of God will only come by us remaining in the battle. Our voices need to truly be heard, and they truly need to be heard this year. Our protests bring about attention to the problem. Violence brings back distraction to the problem of the true mission. But if we're going to see change, if we're going to see reform, we're going to need legislation. And currently in leadership, we don't have the leadership we need. And so we need to elect leaders who think like us, who think like Christians, who are honest, sincere, loving, caring people. And so I ask you to lift up your voice this November 3rd and be heard. Vote by November 3rd. You can vote early, and I encourage you to vote early. Vote before November 3rd, if at all possible. But if you don't vote before November 3rd, make sure your voice is heard on November 3rd. This is a year that we must vote like never before. We can say their names, but you know what? They won't be able to vote. Most of them won't be able to vote. Jacob Blake survived his gunning down, but he still might not be able to vote. But we can vote for them. We can let our voices be heard and let this country and this nation and this state know that this social injustice, this inequality, this racism must end in America. America must live up to the heritage of its founding. We the people. The belief that we have inalienable rights to freedom. We the people. Even Black people. Black lives matter. Maybe no more than anybody else, but definitely no less than anybody else. Black lives matter, and we must stop killing Black people as though their lives don't matter. Don't get it twisted. We love all. We are Christians and we love everybody. But this world, when you shoot people in the back, you act as though their life doesn't matter. We must bring about a change, and we need leaders who are ready to bring about a change, not leaders who are ready to deny the real problems of our nation. We need leaders who know the truth and don't honor the lie. The Civil War ended, but yet we still honor the Confederacy as though they were doing something great. The Confederacy did nothing great. They rebelled against the nation. They brought insurrection. They brought war in order to hold Black people as slaves for their economic gain. There is no honor in that. There is no heritage, no culture worth celebrating. It's worth condemning. And in this age, we need to let our voice be heard, that we condemn this injustice that's going on in America. Please vote, register, and vote November 3rd. You might not think voting matters, but it is one element of a two-part plan, because once we have leaders in place, then we must put in the economic pressure to make change in America. But we need a voice in our government that listens to the pressure we're about to bring to bear. If you remember the civil rights movement, it wasn't just about speaking. There were boycotts, there was sacrifice. And we need to be prepared after November 3rd to begin to put the economic pressure on this country that we can make a change. Because it really doesn't matter who's elected. Somebody will be elected. But we must be ready to apply the economic pressure to have the consequences that we expect in this generation. Our voices must continue to be heard for liberty and justice for all. God bless you. God keep you. Remember, God is watching what we do. Love God, love people. Make disciples of Jesus Christ.